So, question. Who killed Goliath?
David.
You think?
Yeah.
You really believe that? Because I believe it. Okay. Well, one of the classics and one of the most devastating things that happens to modern translations is pulling those italics out. Look at 2 Samuel chapter 21. And look at verse 19.
And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jeroboam, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam.
All right. Now, what do you notice about the brother of?
It's in italics.
Okay. You know, modern translations take those words out because they're in italics. But here in the ESV, it says this: Elhanan, the son of Jeroboam, the Bethlehemite, struck down Goliath the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. So they took the italicized words out, and by doing that, they inserted a double problem. Have you ever heard anybody say this? Lost people say this. Well, the Bible has contradictions in it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Well, the King James Bible doesn't have contradictions in it, but modern ones do. You were told that David killed Goliath. Well, you were told David killed Goliath because in 1 Samuel chapter 17, it says David killed Goliath. And in the ESV, in 1 Samuel 17, it says David killed Goliath. But then you get to 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 19, it says Elhanan killed Goliath. That's a contradiction. But it doesn't put a contradiction in the Bible. It puts two contradictions in the Bible. Go to 1 Chronicles chapter 20. And 1 Chronicles chapter 20 is a parallel to what you just read. In other words, it's just a second accounting of that battle. And look at verse 5.
And there was war again with the Philistines, and Elhanan, the son of Jair, slew Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear staff was like a weaver's beam.
In this ESV, this English Standard Version, it has two contradictions. It says David killed Goliath and Elhanan killed Goliath. Then it says, it's a contradiction, it says Elhanan killed Goliath, and it says Elhanan killed the brother of Goliath in the same battle at the same time, double contradiction. It's kind of like this, I got a little story coloring book for one of my grandkids. This coloring book has a mistake in it. It says, David threw a stone and hit Goliath right in the forehead. But we know from the ESV that it wasn't David. It was Elhanan. And I think this, if they can scratch words out of the Bible and put different words in, I guess I can correct a coloring book.
Okay, so there you go. There's your discussion. And notice he just described as scratching words out of the Bible. Well, is that what's going on? Well, we need to take a look at it. And we need to take a look at it in the original language in which it was written. Here we have the two texts. 2 Samuel 21:19, 1 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 5. Now, let's read the New American Standard at 2 Samuel 21:19. It says, there was war with the Philistines again at Gob, and Elhanan, the son of Jair-Oregim, keep that in mind, the Bethlehemite, killed Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Then when you look at the parallel text to that, in 1 Chronicles 25, it says, and there was war with the Philistines again, and Elhanan, the son of Jair, killed Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Well, they sound almost alike, but there's a real difference between the two. Now, what the King James has done, and someone this morning in channel put a reference, a link to the original, I guess the original 1611 is available online, so you can look at it. And it had the brother of in a font completely other than the Gothic font that was used for the rest of the text. In fact, it looked like our modern fonts. It almost looked like a plain old Times Roman or something. But that was how they did italics, evidently, at the time. And so from the beginning, the King James translators have recognized that there is no the brother of in the Hebrew, and that they are providing it. Now, did the King James translators know about this issue between 2 Samuel 21:19 and 1 Chronicles 20, verse 5? Probably. Did they know about the most probable explanation of it, which I'm going to provide to you here in a moment? Brilliant men, maybe they did. Maybe they did. I don't have commentary from them to give you that information, but maybe they did. I agree with the interpretation that lies behind the rendering in 2 Samuel 21:19. When you have parallel texts, you have to allow them to speak. I mean, I pointed this out. Not only do you have parallels, for example, in between Leviticus and Deuteronomy, very important to bring the parallels in. We have to ask ourselves a question. Is there a reasonable, fair understanding of how someone at some point in time could have miscopied what was originally found in 2 Samuel 21:19 into the form that we have today? Now let me show you, bring that up. All right. Here is one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Isaiah scroll. And let me zoom in here and then move around a little bit. You will notice, especially along seams, you have places like right here. Look at that word right there. Right here you have smudging, you have darkening of the material there, you have darkening over here. I mean, these scrolls are in excellent shape, but not all scrolls are in excellent shape. And you can see here how some, like right here, it's gotten into the writing at this point, gotten into the writing at this point. This is just a part of dealing with ancient writing materials and things like that. That's just something that you're dealing with. Let's take a look at, let's go to this screen, full screen, thank you. All right, so what we're saying is this is the true text and would have been the text that was originally also in 2 Samuel 21:19. So when we look at the differences, there are primarily three differences, and we can understand on the basis of difficulties of sight. You could have had damage to the manuscript. You could have had bad penmanship. You could have had bad eyesight. Certainly as I get older, I certainly recognize that. My arms aren't nearly long enough anymore. There's all sorts of issues that could come up here to where this becomes the foundation of the Masoretic reading in the Hebrew here. The first is that the sign of the direct object, which in Chronicles comes just before Lami. So right here, here's what is being referred to. These two letters right here, eth. This is the sign of the direct object. And what would the direct object be in here? Well, this is where Elhanan killed who? Well, the brother of Goliath, the Gittite. So here is the direct object, Lami, and what is happening is that the copyist mistook this word right here.
أخي يا مقيما شمالا جنوب تجوب الأخوة قلبي تجوب وتهتف بي نحو دار الخلود فدرب الأخوة خير الدروب